Welcome back to WeAreSC's Recruiting Roundup with Scott Schrader. I'm Dylan Brashier, and we're back on Monday with some more important recruiting news. Scott, we've been picking it up again. What have you been up to?
Well, I went back to DC again and had a chance to see Quince Orchard play, and that's where Jalen Harvey goes. So I had a chance to see him play and just kind of catch up on after he announced his top three, where things stand and when he might make a decision. And it sounds like it could either come in a couple of weeks or maybe 4 to 5 weeks. It all depends. He may announce before the football season starts, and I think his season starts September 2nd, or week 3, which would be like the 14th or something like that.
For sure. I mean, like,
So
what are we?
it's a real close battle, USC and Penn State right now for him.
Is he waiting on, like, does he have another visit planned for Penn State, or is he just trying to make his decision now?
No, I think visits are done. Now it's just a matter of announcing and just, I guess, firming up that he's got a school. It's one of those situations. Sometimes these guys, they'll make plans to announce and then they decide they're not really ready. But either way, these dates give him a chance to see USC play at least 1 week.
Oh yeah, that's definitely he'll be able to see a few of the first few weeks. That's good. Perfect.
Yep.
And then so you were just in Quince Orchard, right? That was it.
Right. That was it right now. Next week there's a big event Saturday in Florida, including St. John Bosco playing St. Thomas Aquinas, and
Nice.
St. Francis Academy will be there. St. John's College Prep will be there. American Heritage and Chaminade Madonna Prep. So my plans are to do that. I'm still kind of juggling whether I'm going to go to USC's first game.
Oh yeah.
Versus that trio games in Florida. But those, for as far as the benefit of the website, it probably makes sense for me to be in Florida, but I really don't want to miss the first game.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. And then perfect. Moving on, we have Eddrick Houston's decision is in 2 days. I'm hearing a lot of Ohio State around that. I wonder if you have any last remarks regarding Eddrick Houston.
Yeah, it seems like for a while now it's been Ohio State versus USC, but the lead has been pretty big for the Buckeyes. So, I think, as of right now, it would be a surprise for him to not choose Ohio State. But then again, you never know.
Of course.
And, you never know where things are going to end come the end of the season, too. I'm not saying all these guys are going to all of a sudden start flipping to USC if they have a tremendous season or anything like that. But, you will see some of that.
Definitely, for sure. Perfect. And then we'll move on to some announcements. Kameryn Fountain, who is a USC commit in the 24 class, he's increased his stock from 103rd player in the class to 95th player in the class. So it's always nice to see a recruit getting the notoriety. And then, speaking of which, next is Xavier Jordan. We touched on him, I think, 2 weeks ago, if not last week, about his stock continuation. Yeah. He was given an All-American Bowl invite. And so it's, again, just nice to see our recruits shine. Perfect. And then we'll move on to Chris Cole. Last week, we mentioned Chris Cole did not have an official visit set for USC before his decision date in September 10th. That has changed. So now he has a official visit on September 2nd. Scott, I mean, like you said last week, anything's possible with one visit. Do you think that one visit will be enough to sway him, or it's all speculation?
Yeah, it's hard to know. Right now, I think the thinking is he's probably going to end up staying closer to home back here in the SEC, but you don't know. I know he had a great first visit with his mom when they came out in June. So they've really been looking forward to getting back for a second time to kind of learn more about the school, more about the football program. So I'm actually planning to go see him this week at some point, either tomorrow or Tuesday, more than likely Tuesday. But September 2nd, he'll be taking that official visit. And, whether it will be or not, I don't know. But just the fact that he did follow through with taking this visit is big for USC.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So we'll get more insight on him next week, I assume.
Yep.
Perfect. And then, go ahead.
Couple weeks.
Couple weeks. Perfect. And then as we wrap up this 2024 recruiting class, there's obviously we missed out on Dylan Raiola, so there's no kind of quarterback in sight in this class. I'm wondering if what that means for next year. Obviously, we want to have one cute quarterback in each class. This is kind of a shakeup from this class's standpoint. Is this going to have any effect on next season?
I mean, really, they're going to bring in a quarterback just depending on how confident that Lincoln Riley is in the guys that he has. So, whether they're able to get somebody to transfer or not, it's kind of unknown right now. But, you would think the chances are going to be pretty high that somebody is going to transfer in. It just depends on what level of quarterback we're going to be talking about.
For sure. Sounds good. Perfect. And then so that's it as far as recruiting news. Now we'll get into some extra topics. We have 1 week until game 1, San Jose State. And around this time last year, we were looking at an entirely new USC team. And again, this year, we're looking at a new USC defense. And Scott, I want to talk about Alex Grinch. He's been on the hot seat, obviously, since the Pac-12 championship game, the Tulane game. I'm wondering, when is this hot seat going to cool down or eventually, burn him and he's out of here?
I think it's at the point where USC defense is just going to have to vastly improve this season. And if that doesn't happen, I think that, it'll be time to move on and make a change. But I think not until that defense starts, performing at a level that fans would expect, that hot seat's not going to go away. So it's going to be from just playing games.
Definitely. Is there a tipping point? Let's say similar things happen with the Pac-12 championship. It's neck and neck. It's constantly back and forth. Like last season with Arizona and I think Cal for the most part, it was always back and forth when it really shouldn't have been. We'll get to a point where it'll be like that, where will he get fired mid-season, or are we gonna wait till the end of the season?
No, he will not get fired mid-season. No, I mean, the relationship that he has with Lincoln Riley, there's just no way that's happening.
Definitely.
Now watch it happen.
Yeah, now watch it happen, of course. Okay, so to wrap up today's show, we're going to do a little playoff prediction. We're going to do one now, one mid-season to see how our picks track. So we'll start with you, Scott. What do you think the playoff predictions for this year?
Well, I'm gonna put USC in there, and I've given my reasons for that, being how close they were a year ago with the defense that they had last season. But I'm gonna go USC, Michigan, Florida State, and Georgia. And those will be the 4 preseason for me.
Gotcha. So that's 1 ACC, 1 Big 12, 1 SEC, 1 Pac-12.
There you go.
You got one of each. Yeah. Mine's not too different. I got Alabama for the SEC. I mean, a lot of people are doubting Alabama right now. I wouldn't be shocked. I feel like Jalen Milroe, was he now starting quarterback yet, or is it still a battle?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard that yet.
Okay. I feel like Jalen Milroe is going to have a good season, but if he's named starting quarterback, of course. Michigan, I feel like they were so close last year. This year, they're going to finally pull through and make the playoffs. Obviously, USC, I mean, with where we're headed and how good the defense is supposed to be, I don't think we can be stopped. And then I'm going to take a second SEC team, and I'm going to take LSU. I feel like Jaden Daniels, I mean, this is his 5th or 6th year in college. I feel like his experience and with, of course, Brian Kelly, I feel like they got a great team ahead of him, and obviously a hard schedule, but those are my top 4 predictions for the playoffs.
All right. Well, there you go.
Perfect. Well, that will wrap up today's episode of our recruiting roundup. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next Monday. Fight on.
Fight on.